welcome to the Daily Draw on Friday. Cooper wanted to join in today because what are we doing today, Coops? We've got the Ice Age. We're going into the Ice Age where we've got Sid the Sloth. This has been a special request from my children, and I think it's an absolutely great picture. So grab your pencils and let's start drawing. So here is our daily draw today. We have Sid the Sloth, and I just love this. I think it's so much fun. This is what we're going to start with here. These very simple shapes, and it's all about putting the shapes together and thinking about the shapes between the shapes. So look here. You see that shape there? That's going to be a really important shape for us. And just little shapes here like those as well. And we're going to get those in first with these basic shapes. And then if you're thinking that doesn't look like this, we're going to build it up and then we'll build it up to there. So we're going to be taking it in really simple steps. I'm going to draw and then you can pause it and catch up or just draw along with me, whichever way works for you. Let's make a start. So I'm going to start here with this triangle, which is pretty much in the middle of the page. If I make a dot in the middle of my page here, you can see I'm doing this on watercolour paper. This is super thick paper. And you can draw on both sides. So you can see I've got ratatouille there, and you can draw on both sides of it. These are in our watercolour sketchbooks that are available online in our Little Art School shop with the pencils and everything else that you need. Or you can just buy the sketchbook if you've already got the pencils. Right, I'm going to start here. That's my centre point. I'm going to start here with just a simple line, as simple as that. And I'm going to take that up to there and down. That's my triangle. I'm just going to start there with a triangle. I'm keeping these marks really light because a lot of them I'm going to be ending up rubbing out. They're just guide marks for us. And look how loosely I'm holding this pencil, very loosely, about halfway up, really loose grip. And that's super important as well. Okay, from here I'm going to take a little line out there. And then it's like a triangle, but actually I've got a kind of curve to it. Can you see that? I'm just curving it around to there. And then on top of there, coming in a little bit, I'm going to put a square. Really light marks. So that's that bit done. Can you see in there? Now from here, we're going to take out two long lines. This is going to form his really long neck. Keeping your pencil grip relaxed. There, like that. And what I'm going to do now is take this line out to there, two lines down, small lines, and then a big curve here. This will form the bulk of his body. I think I might have gone a bit low there. I'm going to come back in, go to about there. That's it. Don't worry if you make any mistakes, just rub them out. That's the joy of drawing in pencil. Right, I'm going to come up here now and take a line down there. And I want a line, two lines there in the middle. And another line down there. That's what started. How easy was that? Just a few shapes. That's all drawing is. Starting with some basic shapes. So pause there, make sure you're up to that point, keep your pencil grip nice and relaxed, and then we'll move on to the next stage. So at this stage now, all these red lines here, can you see they're the shapes we've put in, and they're going to act as our markers, our guides here, as we develop the shapes around it. So let's start with this shape here. Can you see that big curve? That is one of the most important shapes here in our drawing. So if you come down from the top of that line to about there, and I'm going to put a mark in there, and then take that out, and coming up about the same distance to there, I'm just going to take a little curve there, you see? And then I'm going to continue that curve around there, and then up here to about there. That's a really important shape, that. And then I'm going to get rid of that line there. Okay, you're going to start to see Sid start to appear from these shapes now. I'm taking this line. This is going to be his hand coming out in a wave and going underneath a little bit. And then let's keep those edges really sort of nice and loose, kind of jaggedy really, which is which will be great for representing his fur. Right, I can get rid of those shapes now as well. And what these beginning guide shapes have done is they've enabled us to get things in the right place and the right size. If you can get the right place and the right size, you're pretty much there with your drawing. They're the two most important things. Right, coming in here, I'm going to take that out a little bit and down. And then I'm going to cut off the corner of this shape here. There, like that, just down to there. And as I follow it round, here, can you see there? That shape I'm coming out. Little curve, and then let's put that foot in. And I want that line to come underneath to there. 1, 2. Now if I come under here like that, I'm going to go to about halfway down that shape. There. And then take my leg up. So that leg is coming in. Let's get rid of that now. I'm going to keep these lines in for now because I've got a bit more drawing to do on that side that I'm going to need them for. But I can get rid of those shapes. When you're rubbing out, sometimes you might end up rubbing out some of your lines. Don't worry, you can just go back and put them in. So this side's now coming together. Can you see that? He's starting to look a bit more like Sid. So let's go all the way up here now to this side. We'll start here on this side. Coming out there, what we've got is, it's a circle. Let's go with a circle. There, a line up joining. And then from here, so if you're thinking about where that bottom bit is, coming out and putting a dot, and I'm going to take it to there. He's got the most joyous smile, hasn't he? And that's the start of his smile there. Coming to the top here, you're going to bring it out like that. We'll finish off this at the next stage. We can just leave that there for now. But what I am going to do is here, can you see these lines there? I'm just going to loosen it up so we've got those bits of fur coming out. Now about there, so go to the top of where that point is, come up a little bit, and then you can take it out. Down. And all you're going to do is do a little wriggle there, a little wriggle. And then again, using that as a marker where all those shapes join, we've got that, and that's going to form the top of the arm. So now we can get rid of those marks too. And we can see, can you start to see now that these shapes, these what seemed like really random shapes, are all starting now to turn into our character. So the last bit I want to do at this stage is this bit here. So I'm going to come down to here and start putting the leg in. So see where the red line is? That's our line we've got here. I'm just going to go out, come round and in. I've got a line coming across there, and just there, I've got it coming out. And then here we've got these shapes here, 1, 2, 3. And that is this stage finished. Just get rid of those bits, and we're going to be ready to finish it off at the next stage. So pause and just take your time. If it feels a bit overwhelming, just think, I'm going to start with that square, and now I'm going to do this bit, and now I'm going to do that, and just work your way around it at your own pace. So now we've just got a few final details, and I think we're pretty much done on the feet there. I might bring that in a little bit there. That one's absolutely fine. Maybe take those up a little. Let's pop a little tail in. So his tail starts there. That was pretty simple, wasn't it? And we can just finish on these. We'll start with these two and then we'll finish on the face. So on this hand here, just take it up and round. And don't overthink these. We've just got a mark there. 1, 2, and then a little gap on that last one. That's that one done. Coming up here, come 1, and then this big one pointing there, and a small gap, 2, 3. lines in there. So that's that one done. So now to finish with the magnificent smile and the eyes, what I'm going to start with is the top of the head here. So we've got that shape there. You see it comes along and then it's got a slight bump in it there. Here, I'm just going to take it out and then down. So now we can get rid of those two lines we had. That's the last of our guidelines really there. It's going to come out like that. Now if in here, one circle, two circles, and we'll colour those next time. It's just two little eyebrows coming off there, but we've got more on this side. One, two, and then one short, long, there on that side. Right, let's get the mouth in now. It doesn't go right to the edge, and have a real look at this, because it's all about thinking, what do I see? Not what do I think I see, if that makes sense. Really look at the shape. I'm going to come down on both sides. And we've got that shape inside the shape. None of it makes sense until his nose goes on. And look, the nose touches the bottom and it's not smack bang in the middle. If it was in the middle, it was there. And if you put it in the middle, it won't look right. It's just because he's slightly leaning. Can you see he's leaning to one side? So coming in from that eye, if we go like this, join it to the bottom. It's not a circle. Can you see that? It's just thinking about getting that shape in. And coming round, and suddenly it looks like him, doesn't it? As soon as his nose goes in, it looks like him. Now here we've got to put the teeth at the top and then at the bottom, and then we'll come in and shade it. That's our drawing. It really is just a bit of patience. Take your time. Don't worry when things go wrong with it. Just rub it out. Sit back and work out what's gone wrong, and then you'll be able to start again. Okay, I'm going to come on to painting now. I've got my watercolour pencils ready. If you don't have any and you just got your crayons, stick with me anyway. I'm going to show you what colours I'm using. So I'm going to use 4 colours here. I've got my brown. It's the dark brown, not the reddy brown, the dark brown. The black, yellow, and the red. There's 2 reds. One's a kind of crimson-y red, that's this one, and the other one is more of a red. So we want the crimson-y red. I'll just pop that over there. I'll show you why. Because if you look at Sid's nose and mouth, it's more pinky. So that's the colour we want from your set. And that is the red, which is much brighter. So they're absolutely magic, these pencils, and the whole lot that comes in the set. You get your sketchbook, your pencils, a pencil, a rubber, and your paintbrush for just £15. That's our daily draw pack that we're selling at the moment while we're doing these daily draws to try and help everybody. So what I'm going to show you now is a little bit of this is just a bit of scrap paper. You can see it's got a little bit of a it was Evie. It was an old Evie when I was testing out colours. Just a bit of scrap paper here to show you how they work. Now, there's a difference between the brown, when we do it really solidly there, and how we're doing it here. And to get the effect around the edge, what I'm going to do it there is, can you see I'm just putting in that sort of shape, the edging. Then I'm going to use a touch of yellow. Let me show you the difference. That's what the brown looks like. And then this is the bit that we're going to try and get here for the inside. So I touch the brush to the edges. That's going to loosen the paint. So the paint starts to come off. And as it moves and touches the yellow, we get a kind of browny yellow there instead. So that's what the look we're going for. Put that out of the way. Put my other pencils down. I'm going to start here with the brown. And I'm really going to use the brown quite heavily. Because this is me. It's not colouring in now. I'm putting... that bit there is the paint, and I'm putting the paint onto my paper. Like that. I'm going to go around the edge. I want it to look nice and furry, so all the way around, that kind of furry look. Let's see, in here. In this bit, because I want it to be much darker, I'm going to colour it because I'm putting in all the paint. Same with the tail. It doesn't look very neat, the colouring, does it? And it doesn't matter because this isn't colouring, it's putting the paint down. It's really different thing. The neatness will come with the brush when we do the brush work. Okay, so that's his foot in, and I'm going to go again. More brown there. Now I'm going to actually bring a little line round there. Taking an edge. Shade it a little bit there, a little bit more brown, a bit darker. I'm just edging there around those toes. Same here down this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, getting that. Just outlining there. I am going to go in with more of the pigment there. Just up to there. Now it's a bit different around the head. I'm going to go with the line at the top of the head, and I'm going to put in a bit of the brown there and a bit there. So that's the brown in, and now I really don't want to press hard now. I really want the yellow to be very subtle. So I'm just putting a bit on each of those nails and there, here on the 3 toes. And then in the centre, a touch there and a touch there. And I'm going to go down really lightly like this. I'm really not pressing hard. I just want it to be a hint of yellow. And a little bit up there, a little bit up there. Right, let's start turning now. Now I'm going to come back to the bits with the brown on, and I'm going to start here. I've probably got slightly too much water on my brush, so squeeze it out in my fingers there. Can you see as it starts to turn there? As soon as I move those bits of brown, they'll go into that yellow there. Let's start turning this where I've got loads of brown. And I can move that brown out into the yellow there. Oops, can you see I just went over the edge then? I wasn't very careful. I can actually lift that off with a bit of kitchen roll. You see? Bit of magic there. Artist's best friend we call kitchen roll. I'm going to go back in there just to make sure I've got no marks, but also because then that gives me a bit of brown on my brush. Do you see that? To bring in under here. Come back and do his face at the end. Let's take it around to here. So all those marks that I've made, by just moving over them with the brush. I'm going into my water now to make sure my brush is clean. So then I can take that out to his tummy, and here over the hands. I'll just do that quite quickly. So it gathered up a bit of the paint, but it still kept it much lighter around the tummy area. Okay, into the tail. And then here into the feet. And every time I'm going into a paler bit, I'm washing my brush before I do, otherwise it'll just take all that brown in. And every time I put my brush in the water, I am squeezing it, because I want the brush damp, but I really don't want it wet. Okay, so I'll just do that bit, and the same up here. Right, let's finish off this bit around the face. Now I'm going to turn that bit there first at the start, but then I'm going to get some water on my brush, and I want this to be really pale here. So can you see, this is just water. And I'm bringing that bit down into the water. Now this will take just a minute or two to dry. And while I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put in the middle of the eyes. I'm not going to put the outside edge because it will immediately start to bleed into there if I do, but I'll go there. I'll leave a tiny highlight, just a small white dot. The same on that side. And I'm not going to turn that to paint, I'm just going to leave that like that. Now, while I've got the black in my hand, I'm going to go in around the teeth, and I'm going to put in this inside of the mouth. And then I think this is pretty much dry now, so I can go around the eye and just put in those eyelashes there like that. And just to finish it off, we need to use a little bit of this. Now I'm only going to put in a bit. I don't want it to be a strong red. I'm also going to put it around there, around the lips, because we've got this lips around. Now, really, I'm squeezing that in. You see, I'm getting all the colour out of it. I don't want all the water out of it. Now, if I do this pink, but I want the pink to be a little bit darker. So what I'm going to do is tuck my brush into that black, just for a second. Same around the edge. Turn the pink really carefully. And there is our Sid the Sloth. Hope that you really enjoyed it. Well, it's been an amazing few weeks with the daily draw. We weren't expecting to do a second lockdown daily draw, but we've enjoyed it, haven't we, Cooper? Yeah, Cooper's enjoyed it. He's enjoyed talking about it. Elizabeth and I have had a great time with you. Nobody knows really what's going to happen next, but just rest assured that if you need us, we will be back. In the meantime, there are 200 daily draws there for you to choose from. So we hope that you've enjoyed drawing with us. We've loved having you, and we will see you when we see you.